As the turmoil over Brexit continues at Westminster, the attitude in Brussels appears to be "keep calm and carry on." That was an official slogan adopted by the British government in 1939 on the eve of war. European diplomats were glued to the drama as MPs clashed with the Speaker of the House of Commons, John Bercow. There was a cautious welcome for the amendment shortening the time Theresa May's government will have to respond if, as expected, it loses next Tuesday's vote on the United Kingdom withdrawal deal. It reduces the possible period of uncertainty, or at least it might do, said a European official. Speculation about the possibility of no deal, or even an emergency, some ebbs and flows with each passing hour. No one will admit to being on the receiving end of tentative calls from the United Kingdom about the possibility of postponing Brexit beyond 29 March, allowed under Article 50 of the EU Treaty. But everyone agrees it would be a logical thing for the Brits to explore. If the EU is working on a letter of reassurance about the Irish, but to be deployed at the last minute, then it's being done in secret by the European Council and the European Commission, because officials from the member states do not know anything about it. The Irish border backstop aimed at preventing the return of a hard Irish border is the thorniest issue addressed in the withdrawal deal, but the EU has triggered the legal procedure for signing off that deal. Whatever MPs in Westminster think of it, ambassadors from the 27 other member states, the EU 27, approved the procedure in Brussels on Wednesday. Read more on Brexit. The EU 27 will write letters agreeing that the deal should be signed. It will then be passed to the European Parliament for its consent. The agreement will bear the signatures of European Council President Donald Tusk and European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker. Pretty obvious, yes, but there was a discussion about which big names would get to hold the pen. This is designed to reinforce the message that the deal is done and to show that the EU is getting on with its side of the bargain, and to reassure mates that they will get to have a say soon. Separately, the EU is also designing the joint committee, which will settle arguments with the United Kingdom over how to interpret the withdrawal agreement. The European Commission will represent the EU in this body, which will also decide whether to extend the transition period, or trigger the backstop, or whether new European laws should apply in Northern Ireland if the backstop comes into force. Individual countries will be able to raise disputes. Spain, Cyprus and Ireland will have special status because of their unique situations, sensitivities over Gibraltar, British sovereign bases and Northern Ireland. It's an attempt to create a balance of power between European Commission bureaucrats and the national governments when it comes to overseeing relations with the United Kingdom. There has also been progress on non-Brexit legislation, where the United Kingdom has influence until it leaves the EU. One is a package of measures called the Investment Firms Review. It includes rules on how some companies from outside the EU will be regulated when they sell financial services inside the EU, and will potentially apply to the city after the United Kingdom as exit. British diplomats were dismayed when this was delayed by the French last year, but it was given the nod this month, and is now subject to a final round of negotiations. This is really important because it's going to be at the heart of what we do in future, said a British diplomat. The EU machine is also processing the 14 pieces of legislation that comprises no-deal safety net, including bare bones deals on aviation and road haulage. But officials warn that is using up time and effort that could be spent on preparing for talks on the future relationship with the United Kingdom, penciled in to start on 1 April. And they still need time to watch the British political drama on TV. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's chief finance officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on 1 December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park in eastern Henan Province said it would waive the $9.40 65 yuan ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. Meng, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the United States on charges of breaking Iran sanctions. Her case has upped tensions with China. US Huawei phones shoot grand photos on the mountain, a notice on the Shannon Park's social media account said. We wish friends around the world who support Huawei's success in bliss. The offer would last until 29 December, the South China Morning Post reported, but it was met with some criticism among China's social media users, who claimed it was discriminatory. Huawei phone owners are being offered other enticements too. They can get a 20% discount at a bar in Beijing. Seen in Beijing, bring a Huawei phone and get 20% off. Similar to this story, we covered yesterday https://QQXL1IYPQL Twitter.com Sokolov. End of Twitter post by @LuoShunji. At least one firm has threatened to penalize anyone buying Apple products. A few days ago, Manpada Shenzhen, based LED display manufacturer offered subsidies to any employees buying Huawei phones. It also pledged to fine anyone who bought an Apple iPhone. United States prosecutors alleged Ms. Meng, 46, used a Huawei subsidiary called Skycom to evade sanctions on Iran between 2009 and 2014. They also allege she publicly misrepresented Skycom as being a separate company from Huawei, and that she deceived banks about the true relationship between the two companies. Ms. Meng, who is the daughter of Huawei's founder, has denied any wrongdoing and said she will contest the allegations. Life of Huawei's high-flying heiress. The United States has been investigating the Chinese telecoms giant, the world's second-largest smartphone maker, since 2016, believing that it used Skycom to bring the United States manufacturing equipment and millions of dollars in transactions to Iran in violation of sanctions. Ms. Meng's detention comes amid an increasingly acrimonious trade dispute between Washington and Beijing. China is angry at her detention, saying she has not violated any laws. Beijing has threatened severe consequences unless Canada releases the executive. Since her arrest, 2 Canadians, a former diplomat, and a businessman have been detained in China on suspicion of harming national security. United States President Donald Trump said last week that he might intervene in the United States Justice Department's case against Ms. Meng if it would serve national security interests or help achieve a trade deal with China. If I think it's good for what will be certainly the largest trade deal ever made, which is a very important thing, what's good for national security, I would certainly intervene if I thought it was necessary, he told Reuters news agency. Canada reacted by urging Mr. Trump not to politicize the situation. Our extradition partners should not seek to politicize the extradition process or use it for ends other than the pursuit of justice, Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland said. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's Chief Finance Officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park in eastern Hainan Province said it would waive the $9.40 65 yuan ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. Meng